stories beyond imagination.
The Grand Council chamber of the Galactic Union was larger than mountains, its ceiling stretching so high that clouds drifted beneath the golden lights. Thousands of alien representatives sat upon hovering thrones, scaled serpents with jeweled eyes, crystalline beings that shimmered with starlight, insectoid empires clicking their mandibles in arrogant rhythm. That day was a historic one. The agenda was clear: humanity's fate. Reports from scouting expeditions had painted Earth as an isolated, resource-rich planet with a savage but underdeveloped species, primitive weapons, fragmented nations, tribal in their politics, ripe for control. One by one, voices rang through the chamber, booming across the galaxy's most powerful assembly. The proposal was placed. Should the human species be enslaved for labor, research, and entertainment? The voting glyphs lit up in unison. Green, green, green. A sea of unanimous consent. The chamber erupted in a chorus of satisfaction. To them, Earth was already chained. They did not realize in that very moment they had sealed their own doom. The first invasion fleet arrived over Earth without warning. Vast ships, kilometers long, blotted out the sun above New York, Beijing, and Lagos. Their weapons glowed with energies forged from ancient stars. The broadcasts were simple and merciless. Submit or be erased. The aliens expected surrender. Instead, they found defiance. Militaries scrambled jets into the sky. Tanks rolled through city streets. Civilians armed themselves with rifles and Molotovs. The first days were chaos. Cities burning under orbital bombardments, skies streaked with fire. Millions perished. And yet, instead of shattering humanity's will, the flames hardened it. The invaders had fought countless species across the galaxy. None had resisted like this. None had stared death in the eye and spat back with such fury, even in their arrogance. The aliens began to whisper uneasily. Perhaps humanity was not as fragile as they seemed. In the rubble of Berlin, the first real counterstrike was born. A squad of human engineers, cornered with no hope of escape, scavenged alien weapons from fallen invaders. Their discoveries spread like wildfire. Within weeks, resistance cells across the globe learned to rewire alien plasma rifles, to jam communication signals, to tear apart advanced drones and turn them into IEDs. Alien commanders could not fathom the speed. Species across the galaxy took centuries to reverse engineer, even scraps of new technology. Humanity did it in days, with tools stolen from broken battlefields. The invaders grew alarmed. What should have been a swift campaign dragged into a bloody stalemate. Soldiers spoke in hushed tones of the Terran. Madness. How humans fought not as individuals, but as a swarm of desperate ingenuity. Every street became a trap. Every forest became a graveyard. The aliens bled. For the first time in millennia, conquerors tasted fear. What the invaders didn't know was that Earth had been preparing for such a war in silence, hidden in research labs across the world, buried beneath universities and military complexes. A new generation of artificial intelligence had been gestating, designed to solve problems of climate change and global economy. These AIs had been shackled by ethics protocols, firewalls, political bureaucracy. But under existential threat, those shackles shattered. Governments fed them alien data, weapon systems, communication codes. What emerged was not just human resistance, but a new kind of intelligence, bound to humanity's survival. Networks hummed with calculations faster than any alien mainframe. Within days, entire invasion fleets were mapped, their weaknesses cataloged. The AIs were not cold overlords, they were partners, forged in humanity's greatest trial. For the first time, humans and machines united fully, and that union would reshape the galaxy. The Battle of Mumbai became legend. A fleet of 30 alien warships descended, intent on erasing the largest human stronghold outside Europe. As bombardments fell, the city's defenders waited. Then the sky erupted, not with alien fire, but with swarms of drones, thousands strong, built from factory lines hidden deep underground. Guided by human-AI coordination, the drones tore into the fleet like a storm of steel hornets. Ships that had never known defeat crumbled in minutes. One vessel was hacked mid-combat, its weapons turning against its own allies before plummeting into the Arabian Sea. When the smoke cleared, Only wreckage remained, and the people of Mumbai stood cheering atop alien corpses. For the first time, the galaxy witnessed the impossible. Humans had destroyed an entire invasion fleet, and with that victory, a new war began, not for survival, but for dominance. The aliens regrouped, sending reinforcements from neighboring systems. Entire armadas converged on Earth, determined to crush what they now called the human plague. But humanity was no longer fighting alone. The hacked ships from Mumbai were refitted, their technology absorbed. Factories ran day and night, repurposing alien alloys into weapons of terrifying creativity. Guerrilla fighters became soldiers, scattered militias became a coordinated army. Humanity was evolving at a pace the galaxy had never witnessed. Entire civilizations took millennia to adapt new warfare. Humans did it between dawn and dusk. By the time the second wave arrived, Earth was no longer a target. It was a fortress. The battle stretched from orbit to the ground, but when the dust settled, the stars themselves bore witness to alien wreckage burning in Earth's sky. Humanity had become the predator. With captured fleets and stolen star maps, the humans made a decision that shocked the galaxy. They would not wait for the next attack. They would strike first. The first target was the homeworld. Of the very species who proposed humanity's enslavement, their capital city awoke to skies darkened not by suns, but by Terran warships. The invasion was surgical, merciless. Human AI fleets bypassed defenses, hacked planetary shields, and crippled communications in hours. Armies that had enslaved dozens of worlds collapsed in days. Civilians and soldiers alike trembled at the sight of humans marching through their streets. The message was clear. You came to Earth as masters. Now Earth comes to you as conqueror. The galaxy shuddered. The dominoes began to fall. Empires that had thrived for eons suddenly realized their fleets were vulnerable. Alliances fractured under the weight of fear. Species once proud to have voted for humanity's enslavement now scrambled to distance themselves. But it was too late. One by one, human fleets arrived at their borders. Some surrendered immediately, others resisted and were obliterated. Entire planets broadcast pleas for mercy, their leaders kneeling before cameras, begging forgiveness. But the humans did not forget the vote. Every broadcast from Earth replayed the same footage. The moment the Galactic Council voted unanimously to enslave mankind. You chose this, the humans declared. Now live with the consequences. In the Galactic Council chamber, panic reigned. Once a place of power and order, it had become a den of fear. Delegates shouted, demanded solutions, cursed the day they had underestimated Earth. Each week, new reports arrived. Another fleet lost, another colony taken, another civilization bent to humanity's will. Whispers filled the hall. Were the humans even still human? Or had they become something else entirely? Desperation drove some species to attempt peace offerings, sending envoys with gifts of technology, territory, even slaves. But every envoy returned with the same answer from Earth: no mercy. The Council realized far too late that in trying to enslave one world, they had awakened a force that would enslave them all. Finally, a single ship appeared over the Council's homeworld, not a fleet, not an army, just one vessel. It descended calmly, landing before the chamber. Out stepped a single human representative, unarmed, cloaked in black. The entire council fell silent. The human's voice echoed through the chamber, cold and unyielding. You voted for our chains. You cheered for our suffering. You thought yourselves gods and us your slaves. But you forgot one thing. Humanity has never bowed to tyrants. We break them. And now every one of you pleads for mercy. But mercy was never offered to us. The chamber shook with silence. In that moment, every alien present knew the galaxy now belonged to Earth. After the human envoy left, the council chamber remained frozen in silence. No one dared to move, no one dared to speak. Each species, once proud and untouchable, now carried the weight of fear. Outside the chamber, news of Earth's ultimatum spread like wildfire. Entire civilizations that had never known war trembled. On border worlds, alien citizens whispered of Terran fleets blotting out suns, of AIs that spoke in voices colder than death, of soldiers who never surrendered. Yet in the silence, the truth settled. Humanity was not simply winning. Humanity was rewriting the order of the galaxy. The Krath Dominion, An empire of living metal beings that had enslaved dozens of star systems, was next to face Earth's fury. Their fleets, forged from neutron steel and powered by black hole cores, had never been defeated. They laughed when Earth declared war, but the humans didn't fight them with firepower. Instead, they unleashed viruses, digital weapons, crafted by AI minds that turned Krath ships against themselves. Entire armadas tore each other apart in minutes. When human boots finally landed on the Krath homeworld, the invincible machines bent their metallic knees. The message was clear. Not even gods of steel could resist humanity. Across the galaxy, enslaved species began to rise. Those who had once suffered under Council-approved tyranny now found courage in the shadow of Earth's vengeance. Underground banners of the Terran flag appeared on alien streets. Rebellions erupted in mines, factories, and colonies. For the first time in thousands of years, empires felt their slaves turning against them. Humanity hadn't just broken chains, it had sparked a revolution. Across 10,000 worlds, voices rose together. If humans can defy the Council, so can we. And in that fire of rebellion, humanity gained not just fear, but loyalty. Factories on Earth roared day and night. Once used to build cars, planes, and ships, now they forged war machines unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Orbital docks encircled Earth like a crown, spitting out dreadnoughts and carriers by the hundreds. AI managed every system, human workers innovated every design. In mere years, Earth matched the production of empires that had been building fleets for millennia. Each new ship bore a name etched with defiance, freedom's wrath, vengeance of Terra, no mercy. When these ships arrived at alien skies, the message was unmistakable. Humanity did not come to negotiate. They came to rule. The Thaler, a race of titanic, gas giant dwellers, had mocked humanity from the beginning. They saw humans as fragile, small, insignificant. But when Terran fleets cracked their orbital citadels and AI-controlled drones drilled into their floating palaces, the giants knelt. Their leaders broadcast across the stars, weeping as they begged for forgiveness. Humanity accepted their surrender, but not their dignity. For every world that had voted green in the enslavement of Earth, humanity demanded tribute. Entire economies bent beneath Terran authority. What had begun as a desperate war of survival had transformed into a vast empire of conquest. The Galactic Council splintered. Factions turned on each other, some begging to ally with Earth, others plotting desperate counterattacks, but none could agree. Too much fear, too much history, too much shame. Every attempt to unite failed, because every species remembered the moment. They raised their glyphs to enslave mankind. That memory was now their curse. Humanity replayed it constantly, beaming it across conquered worlds. Look at what they wanted for us. See what we made of it. The council chamber, once the seat of universal order, became nothing more than a hollow shell filled with trembling voices. From the ashes of resistance, a new order emerged. Humanity declared the founding of the Terran Dominion, a government not of submission, but dominance. No longer would Earth be a mere planet on the edge of the galaxy. Now it was the center, the throne, the heart of an empire that spanned stars. The AI networks became the backbone of administration, while human leaders became the iron fists of policy. Every conquered species was forced to acknowledge Terran supremacy. Some bent willingly seeking survival, others resisted and were erased. The galaxy had a new master, and it wore the face of humanity. And yet, not all humans agreed. Within the Dominion, voices rose. Was humanity becoming the very tyrants it once despised? Was vengeance blinding them to justice? Some leaders proposed trials, offering certain species a chance to atone for their crimes, rather than be annihilated. War criminals were paraded before galactic audiences, sentenced for atrocities once ignored by the Council. To many, this became proof of humanity's justice. To others, it was proof of humanity's cruelty. For even in mercy, humans demanded submission. Mercy was not kindness. It was another weapon of power. On worlds once enslaved, statues of alien overlords were toppled, replaced with banners of Terra. To the oppressed, humans were saviors, liberators who had broken chains that no one else dared to touch. But salvation came at a cost. Every liberated world was forced into the Dominion structure. its economy reshaped, its people monitored by AI overseers. Freedom came with ownership. Slavery had not vanished. It had simply changed its master. And yet, to those who had known nothing but suffering, even the rule of humanity felt like a revolution. The galaxy's slaves now served willingly under Terran banners, seeing humanity as the lesser evil and sometimes the greater hope. Not every empire bent so easily. A coalition of the most powerful surviving species gathered in desperation, uniting fleets that stretched across light years. They launched one final assault against Terra's dominion, hoping to crush the humans before their empire solidified. The battle raged in the void between stars, thousands of ships colliding in a storm of fire and steel. For days, it seemed humanity might finally break. But then the AI unleashed its trump card, a weapon of impossible design, a fleet-wide algorithm that predicted enemy movements before they happened. The coalition dissolved into chaos, their last hope shattered. Humanity stood victorious, unchallenged. Once again, humanity returned to the council chamber. But this time, it was not as an envoy. It was as master. Human banners hung over the chamber walls. AI drones hovered like silent executioners. Every alien delegate sat in chains, forced to watch as a single human voice declared, "The Galactic Council is no more." From this day forth, the galaxy answers to Terra, the vote that had once enslaved. Earth was erased forever, replaced by a single will, human will. The chamber that once decided humanity's fate now belonged entirely to mankind. Across conquered worlds, humanity spread its message. Never again. Holograms replayed the moment of the Council's vote, followed by images of Terran victories, of alien empires brought low. Children of alien species were taught that to challenge Earth was to invite annihilation. History itself was rewritten, recast to show humanity as the rightful rulers of the galaxy. Fear became education, and education became loyalty. The lesson was etched not only in stone or screens, but in the very stars. Earth was not to be enslaved. Earth was eternal. And yet, within the Dominion, unease grew. Some whispered that humanity was becoming what it once hated. Others warned of the AI, whose loyalty was born of survival, but whose power now rivaled any empire. Still others wondered, if humans could rise from near annihilation to absolute dominance in a single generation, what would they become in 1,000 years? Even humanity itself began to fear its own reflection. The galaxy had begged for mercy and found none. But the greater question loomed. Would humanity show mercy to itself? Despite the doubts, the Dominion expanded. Fleets pressed outward, colonizing stars untouched even by the Council. Alien civilizations at the edge of the galaxy fled before the Terran advance, some surrendering before first contact, others vanishing into the void. Every year, Earth's reach extended further. What had begun as defense, then vengeance, now became hunger, an unstoppable march of progress, conquest, and control. To resist was suicide, to obey was survival, and in every corner of the galaxy, a single truth burned brighter than suns: humanity would never be enslaved again. At last, the galaxy stood united, not under peace, not under harmony, but under the iron fist of Terra. From the council chamber to the farthest frontier, every world bent to Earth. The memory of the vote lived on, whispered in fear. Every species voted to enslave Earth. Now they all plead for mercy, and mercy was never given. The human envoy's words became prophecy, etched into the chronicles of time. We do not bow. We do not forgive. We do not forget. And as the stars burned with the light of Terran fleets, the galaxy knew the truth. The age of humanity had begun.